So, you've probably heard everyone talking about Python, right? It's one of the most powerful and popular programming languages on the entire planet. If you're a total beginner, or maybe just a little curious about what all the hype is about, you are in exactly the right place. Let's dive in. All right, let's kick things off with a little riddle. What do Netflix, NASA, and Google all have in common? I mean, we're talking about a streaming giant, a literal space agency, and, Google. Well, there's a single piece of tech quietly working behind the scenes at all three. Yep, the answer is Python. It's kind of wild when you think about it. It's the secret sauce that helps Google crunch those massive amounts of data. It powers the interface you scroll through on Netflix, and it even helps NASA with some seriously complex calculations. It's like this invisible engine driving some of the coolest tech out there. Okay, so the idea of learning a programming language, yeah, it can feel like trying to explore a massive, uncharted continent, right? It's intimidating. So for the next few minutes, I want you to think of this as our guided tour. I've got the map, and we're going to navigate this whole Python thing together. So here it is. This is our map. Think of these as the main continents we're going to visit. We'll kick things off with the absolute basics, the syntax, kind of like learning the alphabet of the language. Then we'll check out how Python organizes stuff with what are called data structures. From there, we'll see how to give our code instructions with control flow and functions. We'll touch on a slightly more advanced idea, object-oriented programming, before we get to the really fun part, the powerful libraries and frameworks that let you build some seriously amazing things. All right, so what is the big deal with Python? I mean, there are tons of programming languages out there. Why is this the one that everyone, especially beginners, seems to flock to? Well, it all boils down to its core philosophy. Okay, you don't need to be a programmer to see what's going on here. This is the hello world of programming. It's the first thing everyone learns. Look at the Python side. One line. Print, hello world. It just makes sense. Now look at the other side. That's a language like C++. You've got all this extra stuff just to do the exact same thing. This is what we're talking about. Python is built to be clean and readable, almost like plain English. And that beautiful simplicity, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's way easier to learn, for one. It's also open source, which just means it's totally free for anyone to use. It comes with this huge built-in toolkit, a massive library of code that's already written for you. And it's so versatile. It really is like the Swiss Army knife for programmers. Okay, here's a term you'll hear a lot. Interpreted. What on earth does that mean for you? Well, think of it this way. With some languages, you have to write your whole program, then run it through a special compiler to translate it, and then you can see if it worked. With Python, you can write one line of code, hit enter, and see what happens instantly. There's no middleman. This makes learning and just, messing around with stuff so much faster and way more fun. All right, so we get why Python is awesome. Now let's actually start the journey. We're heading into that first big region on our map, learning the actual language itself. And this is pretty much your roadmap. It might look like a lot, but it flows really logically. First, you gotta learn the words of the language, things like variables, which are just boxes to store information. Then you learn how to organize those words into containers. That's your data structures. After that, you learn how to control the conversation, telling your code what to do and when. And finally, you start packaging common instructions into reusable paragraphs called functions. See? It's a step-by-step process. And don't let that fancy term data structures throw you off. Seriously, all it means is you have superpowered containers for your information. Think about it. A Python list is, well, it's just a list, like a grocery list in order. And a dictionary is like a real dictionary. You use a word or a key to look up its definition or its value. It's all about keeping your data organized. Okay, this is where things get really cool. We've got the basics down. Now our map just completely opens up. This is where we stop just learning the language and start using it to build actual, real-world stuff and solve some seriously interesting problems. I mean, just look at how versatile this thing is. It's an absolute beast in data science. It's a huge player in building the websites we use every day, but then it's also the top choice for automating boring, repetitive tasks. And of course, it's right at the heart of the whole AI and machine learning explosion. It's everywhere. So what does that actually mean? Let's take data science. Imagine you have this gigantic, messy spreadsheet with like a million rows of data. It's a disaster. Well, you can use a Python tool, they call them libraries, like pandas, to instantly clean it all up. And with a single line of code, you could find the average price of all 1 million sales. That's the power we're talking about. It turns chaos into clarity. Or, hey, maybe you're more into building websites. In that world, you do something called a framework, like Django. Now, the best way to think of a framework is like a pre-built house frame. All the boring, complicated stuff, the foundation, the plumbing, it's already done for you. You just get to come in and do the fun part, like designing the rooms and building the features your users actually see. So, we've journeyed across the map, we've seen what Python can do, and now we've reached the treasure chest. Because look, learning a skill is cool, but knowing what it's worth is a game changer. Let's talk about the absolutely massive career opportunities that learning Python opens up. Yeah, let's not beat around the bush. Look at that number, $150,000. That's the average salary for an experienced Python developer. The demand for people with these skills is just through the roof, and that number right there is proof. And who's paying that kind of money? Oh, just some small companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, IBM. The biggest names in tech are all desperate for Python talent. And just look at the jobs. It's not just one thing. You could be a software engineer, a data scientist, a machine learning engineer. Learning Python doesn't push you down one narrow path. It opens up a whole highway of options. And this really sums it all up. It's a quote directly from our sources. Python is very high in demand, and all the major companies are looking for great Python programmers. It couldn't be clearer. The opportunity isn't some far-off thing. It is right here, right now. So there you have it. We've journeyed through the world of Python, from its super simple language to its world-changing applications and incredible career paths. You officially have the map. You know the terrain. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build first?